Hi, my name is Chris, and I had a completely different video planned for today. Actually, I wanted to do two videos this week, and one was a little bit about a tool that I use on my Mac, and the other one was about getting up at 5:30. Now, I basically stood up here to start filming the video about getting up at 5:30. However, it quite didn't feel as right as it did a couple of days ago when I planned that shooting schedule. And the reason for that is that for the last 2 days, or basically the last 3 days, I've been quite sick, as you probably can hear based on my voice. Now, so that's there. Now, I still wanted to at least do something. I didn't want to let myself completely off the hook with producing at least one video this week. So this is the video that I want to make now about what happens when life gets the better of you. Like, for example, with this case. I really felt like, why is this happening now? Like, why am I getting sick now, where I, for one, have a huge plan made up for myself about the next year, about how I'm going to plan that. I'm super excited about it. I'm super excited to also do more sports. I actually went shopping for some running gear, and also just making these plans and putting the deadlines in the calendar and doing the podcast and publishing that and talking about how I want to be making 2 videos per week. And then all of a sudden, I get sick and the whole plan kind of crumbles. And I really felt almost betrayed by whatever power is around that. Now, granted, I felt that sickness kind of creep up on me about 2 weeks ago when I had a sore throat, and I had a lot of headaches the last 2 weeks, and I was not really on top of everything. And it now feels like this last 3 days were kind of like the last mountain I had to climb in terms of getting over this. So the last piece to have the sickness in my nose now, or had the sickness, and also had a huge headache, so that I basically didn't even leave the bed for 2 days and just slept a lot and stayed warm, tried to drink a lot of tea and stuff like that. So what do you do in that situation where you have a huge plan set up for yourself? You get sick, the whole plan kind of crumbles, and in my case specifically, it's even like I felt totally annoyed by the fact that all of this happened right before I actually had planned to not work for a week. So to kind of like take a little bit of a vacation. But in order to actually be able to do that with a clear mind, or with feeling good about myself actually taking the vacation, I would have to get a lot of tasks done first. And now, with being sick, or having been sick and still kind of being sick, it's that much harder to actually get those things done. But I think that at the end of the day, it really comes down to not letting that get the better of us, and not letting it get the better of me. And that's one of the main reasons why I am standing here, why I am making this video, why I decided to not just scramble everything. Because at the end of the day, we are always getting some kind of hurdle thrown our way, and it is up to us how we kind of like play that. So in my case, for example, with this sickness, I didn't necessarily want to plow through, because I have had the experience that only makes it that much worse. And I didn't want to just push forward and do it anyways, or work my ass off even though I don't have the brain capacity, or put a lot of pills into my body that prevent the headache or not just prevent it, but mostly it just makes it so that I don't feel it. It's still there. So I didn't want those things. I wanted to kind of like get through and actually heal that. So I meditated a lot in that phase, and just slept and kind of like tried to figure out what was going on, and heal quicker. And so I think it's important to take that break when it is necessary, because you're only going to carry it with you for that much longer if you don't do that. But at the same time, also get back into it when the motivation is back, or when the motivation is strong enough. For me, that was on the second day that I was in bed basically all day. Toward the end of the day, I actually grabbed my laptop and I did some emails, did some business emails, task management, organizing, and kind of like at least getting back into the rhythm a little bit to get a little bit of a grasp on everything, to feel like I am going to do something again. And then the next day, I actually went into it and did a little more. And so it kind of like was a stepping game from there to get back to where I am now. Not quite, but at least it's on the path to something where I would say, yep, I'm moving forward again. And this also was detrimental to my 5:30 a.m. getting up every morning for that time, because I obviously didn't want to stretch my body too thin with being completely sick and ill and feeling like my muscles hurt, my bones hurt, like everything felt like it hurts. And so I also flank out of that for the last few days. And I am definitely planning to get back into it. And I am also definitely planning to get back to the video that I had planned for it. And I already wrote down a lot of talking points that I wanted to make about it. But it just didn't feel right to talk about getting up at 5:30 when I have not been getting up at 5:30 for the past 4 days or so. So that's definitely coming, and I hope you look forward to that. And I also have a lot of other content planned around this now year's end, how I'm planning my year's end, how I'm going through the motions as to reviewing the last year, and also some other bigger and more scary things that are in the works. For now, this is today's message. Don't get completely struck down when you get sick, when you get ill. Give yourself the pause, give yourself the room and space to actually heal yourself. For someone who is completely freelance or self-employed, this can be really, really hard. And it was for me, because I had this, like, there's Christmas coming up, there's a trip coming up, there's like money flowing out, but then there's no work getting done for those 2 days. And it kind of like felt really, really hard. And I kind of like panicked inside. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's not going to get any better if you just plow through and carry that with you for much, much longer and not be on top of your game. So get back onto the horse once you are ready. And I'm going to do the same. And I am very much looking forward to see you in the next video. Stay up, grinding, doing the work. And if you're sick, I hope you get better that much faster. And I hope you can rejuvenate and relax and collect energy for the next steps in a really good way. And I see you in the next one. Make it your life, and ciao, ciao.